Thanksgiving is this Thursday. What does that mean if you have a septic tank? Now, the state of Texas recommends pumping out your septic tank every 3 to 5 years or sooner. Depends on household size, what's being flushed down the toilet. A lot of different factors go into it. But if your septic system was installed before, let's say 1990, and you don't know where it is, you don't know anything about it, it's been working fine, right? Well, I'll tell you, after 5 years of working in this industry, everything works fine until it doesn't. And when does it decide to start acting up? As soon as you have a house full of family and guests over for Thanksgiving dinner. Now, what I will advise everyone to do, if you have a septic system, you haven't done anything to it in over 5 years, get on someone's list immediately. Or at the very least, find the tank, dig it up, and take a look and see what condition it is. You're gonna have a lot of guests coming to your house, if you have a septic system, that probably live in the city. If they live in the city, if it makes it past the toilet, past the clean out, into the street, that's the city's problem. So a lot of people don't bat an eye when they're flushing tampons, wipes, things like that down their toilet. But when they come to your house, they're not gonna wanna use your John Wayne one-ply toilet paper. They're gonna come bringing all of their flushable wipes, things like that. They're gonna bring all these things that they've been flushing in their own home, which may not be beneficial for your septic tank. So if you got family coming in from out of town, tell them, look, I'm on a septic tank. The only thing that goes down there is pee, poop, and paper. If it gets clogged with wipes, that's on you. Let them know beforehand, because it's always a big argument, like who flushed these, who flushed these? We don't flush them. So I would clear that with your guests. Just give them a heads up if they want to keep using the bathroom or if they want to pay to have the drains cleared. And let me tell you something else. The holidays can become a real nightmare if you need service like that. The reason being is we have families of our own that we want to celebrate with. So in order for us to leave our gathering, load up in the truck, go out and pump out someone's septic tank or clear a drain, it's going to cost a little bit extra than if somebody were to schedule it, let's say, Monday or Tuesday. Once it starts getting into Thursday, there are going to be very few people that are willing to show up to pump out a septic tank or clear a drain. They will do it for a certain price, but you may not like that price. That's why I'm telling everybody now, just get a jump on things, get ahead of it. If it's been longer than 5 years, you're already behind as is. Now let's say your septic tank does begin to back up during Thanksgiving when you have guests over. The first thing you're going to want to do, stop using water immediately. If you keep using water, if it's not able to make it into the septic tank, it has nowhere else to go but the point of least resistance, which is usually the bathtub and then the sinks. If you have a bathtub, it'll come up from the shower because that's the lowest point. None of the toilets are going to want to flush. It'll eventually get so much water in that pipe that it'll start coming up other places like the sink. Go outside, look for a PVC clean out. It's going to be a little screw off cap. Open that up, but be careful because it's probably going to be under pressure. So open it up. You may need a pair of pliers, and all that sewage that was in the pipe going up to the shower is going to be released through the clean out. It's going to make a mess, but I'm sure you'd rather have a mess outside than inside. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is find the septic tank. A lot of these situations I show up to, the main reason it plugged up in the first place is due to lack of maintenance. The tank has never been pumped out. So I would find the septic tank inlet. That's the first lid that's closest to the clean out. Open it up. You should see a baffle. That's a PVC sanitary tee that dips down through that top layer of scum into the septic tank. Get you a stick, something long enough, and poke it, and that's gonna create a pocket and clear that clog. Now, after you poke a hole through that sanitary tee and stir it around, if you don't see a gush of water, you've got something stuck between that inlet pipe to your house. Now, if you have a little snake, I would try running that. And if that's not fixing it, then I would call a plumber, somebody that has drain cleaning equipment, preferably with a camera so you can see exactly what the problem is. I've shown up to a lot of these, and there is something that is causing a constant clog. It's usually roots, maybe a pinched pipe. People use Schedule 20 pipe back in the day. In the soil conditions, that pipe over the years will pinch and create a very small pocket, which is hard for things to get through. Now, if you open up that first lid and water is pouring up and out of the septic tank, you have a problem with a drain field, and that is a much bigger issue that is probably going to take some time to get resolved. In the meantime, you need to have the septic tank pumped out. Now, if you have a 1,000-gallon tank and somebody comes over and pumps it out, if that drain field has failed, however much water you use in the next few days will fill up that tank pretty quick. On average, you're looking at a household using close to 200 gallons of water a day. So if that's a 1,000-gallon tank, you've got 5 days before it fills back up and it starts backing up again. So you need to do something about that drain field. Now, in the state of Texas, if you've had a conventional drain field in the past, you may not have enough room based on the county's regulations. They may move you over to an aerobic system. That's a whole nother deal, but that is the situation with an overflowing septic tank. Now, there are some tanks, I rarely run into them in our neck of the woods, but more modern systems, conventional systems, have an outlet filter. So if you've got stuff overflowing through the inlet side lid, find the lid that's over the outlet pipe. It may have a filter and it may be clogged if you've never cleaned it. So as soon as you pull out that filter, if it starts gushing out and flowing into your drain field, it was probably just a dirty filter. But I highly recommend you start cleaning that filter if that was the problem. So if any of these things happen to you during the holidays, hopefully this will help you buy some time before someone can get out there and clear the line or pump out your septic tank. If you'd like to purchase a Poor Pumper Society hat, I do have them on my website, as well as the Smells Like Money Poor Pumper Society shirts. You can go to PoorPumperSociety.com, check them out. As always, I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope y'all have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.